The MSI Pro lineup of motherboards has proven to be a reliable choice for simple office or workstation PCs. With the introduction of the new Ryzen 7000 CPUs, MSI has made notable improvements to the VRMs, and this is apparent in the Pro B650M-A. Still, by current standards, the VRMs on this board are considered modest yet capable. It features a set of 8-phase VRMs that are effectively cooled by a thick heatsink. As a result, even under an all-core load with a stock 7950X, the VRMs only reach a maximum temperature of 78 degrees Celsius. Of course, I do not recommend anyone to get a 7950X for this motherboard, but this does go to show the premium quality even on a budget-friendly motherboard. Performance is an overall advantage of this board, and even the RAM support is excellent. Usually, MSI boards do not clock memory much higher than 6400 megatransfers per second, but this board does support up to 7200 megatransfers per second DDR5 RAM. If we take a look at the rear I/O, MSI has kitted the Pro B650M-A with 8 USB Type-A ports, where 4 of them are running at USB 3.2 Gen 1 and 4 of them at USB 3.2 Gen 2 speeds. Sadly, there isn't a single USB Type-C port on the rear I/O. Also, MSI should have added at least 2 USB 2.0 Type-A ports, because now you'll have to use 2 USB 3.2 Type-A ports for peripherals like a mouse and keyboard. Thankfully, the front I/O has 4 USB 2.0 Type-A, 1 USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type-C, and 2 USB 3.2 Gen 1 Type-A ports, which does alleviate some of my concerns. The rear I/O also has a BIOS flashback button, which is fantastic for upgrading the BIOS without needing to install a compatible CPU. Other than that, everything else you get is pretty standard, like HDMI 2.1, DisplayPort 1.4, Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth 5.3, 2.5 gig LAN, and a standard 3-port array of audio jacks. When it comes to aesthetics, the MSI Pro lineup of motherboards has a simple all-black design. It's not for showing off your PC, but rather something with a tried and true formula and a look that won't clash with anything else. Being a micro ATX board, there aren't going to be as many PCIe slots as one would expect from a full-sized ATX board. The total, you get 2 M.2 SSD slots and 3 PCIe slots for expansion. The first PCIe slot is a proper x16 PCIe 4.0 slot that is connected directly to the CPU. The other 2 slots are just simple PCIe 3.0 x 1 and PCIe 4.0 x 4 slots. It would make sense to go with this board's bigger brother, the MSI Pro B650P Wi-Fi, if you really want an extra PCIe slot and a stronger VRM if you have a much bigger budget to spend on the motherboard. In terms of competition, the most interesting alternative is the ASRock B650M Pro RS Wi-Fi, which is very similar to this motherboard in many ways. The reason why I prefer the MSI Pro B650M-A Wi-Fi is that for just $10 more, you get a neater design, an extra PCIe slot, and much better USB ports. The ASRock is a good choice if you're looking to squeeze as much of your budget as possible and really want a USB Type-C port on the back. But it is clear that the B650M-A Wi-Fi is hard to pass, especially given how similarly priced they both are. In conclusion, the MSI Pro B650M-A is going to be the ideal choice for budget Ryzen machines. Its solid VRM is what mainly makes it a worthy recommendation. It doesn't go overboard in any shape or form and just gets the job done. To sum up, what I like is the strong VRM design even on a budget. It has plenty of fast USB 3 ports and the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth support out of the box. On the downside, it doesn't have any USB Type-C ports in the rear. Our ratings for VRM design is 8 out of 10. Features, 8 out of 10. Aesthetics, 7.5 out of 10. Value for money, 9 out of 10, for an overall rating of 8 out of 10.